I don't know if I should be doing this. Oh well. Here goes nothing. Yo, what is up, all you stone cold superfly fish keeping fish tank funkadelics out there? You watching Aqua Funk Aquarius with me, Aqua Funk. Now, this video is gonna be a little different, and some of the people who've been following me might notice a change in my persona. I'll tell you why. The reason why is I'm heavily medicated on doctor-prescripted pain medication. But I'm putting the video out for you anyway. You know what I'm saying? So listen, I just put this tank up. I started it about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And the reason why is because I've been live streaming. And I've been live streaming without an aquarium behind me. I know you guys don't want to look at my mug, the whole chat. So I put this up. It's on my back porch, right? The tank stays at 80 to 85 degrees in the daytime, 80 degrees at nighttime. It's a 40 breeder, and it's my only community tank I've had in years. Serious up. It's the only community tank I've had in years. And the reason why I wanted a community tank is because you, FishTube, the fish mob out there, all you guys have the most gorgeous fish, and I always think to myself, man, I wish I had one of those. I wish I had one of those. But being that I'm an angelfish breeder, and you know, all my tanks are really desert, you know, end up being grow out tanks, and I wanted something specifically separate from that, something for fun, something for enjoyment. I spend a lot of my time on this porch, and I wanted something nice to look at. And you guys with your planet tanks and your scape tanks and your, you know, different types of fish have inspired me to do this for my live streams. So I will be live streaming from this spot, maybe this spot, either spot. This is the spot. So what you're looking at, like I said about 14 times already, is my 40 breeder. I got me a koi angel in there. It's pretty much a more, it would look, you know, more like a panda koi. Come over here. It would look more like a panda koi than anything else, but it is a koi because while it does carry the yellow gene. It is more black and white than anything else, but it carries that yellow gene. I got me a new inhabitant, which is that gold severum in there, which I wanted for the longest. Let's be, look, I wanted the ruby red gold severum, which is a gold severum with red speckles on it, but it's really hard to find. And if you do find it, you gotta hope that it's not too big or too small. But I found this guy, and I'm real happy with it. The yellow, you know, yellow is my favorite color. The yellow's popping on it. He is nowhere as docile as I thought he was gonna be at the fish store. He was kind of skittish, but he did eat. So I went ahead and got him. I put him in this tank, and he got real comfortable real fast. So you know, he does some dominating theatrics. You know. Flittering his fins really, really fast. Quickly becoming one of my favorite fish. I got me my two geos in there, my geophagus hecali, who is growing real nice. And I forget the name of that other geo. I'm gonna put it right here. That's the name of that geo. And they're growing beautifully. You know what I noticed? These plants, which I'll get to in a minute, really bring out the green in the geophagus hecali when he swims beside it. So a ruby, like a jade green bling bling thing, and I'm digging it. I also have in there female albino bristlenose pleco. Female albino bristlenose plecos, when they get bigger, they still get some of those little tentacle things. It's not as bad as the males, but she definitely has some. It's kind of blue. But, you know, she's living large in there. And I have me my yo-yo loach. Now check it. My yo-yo loach was inside of my Ultim aquarium, but I noticed that the bottom of my Ultim's fins were getting kind of nipped. So I'm thinking he's the culprit. And actually, I think I'm right, because their fins are starting to grow back nicely. But he's in here, and he's just I'm gonna call him Chester, because he's just steady molesting all these fish. He swims up to them and kind of, he's got little tentacles on his face too. He doesn't hurt them or nothing, but he's definitely curious about him. He just goes up to him and kind of does all that stuff. I got it planted as much as, you know, my planting skills can do. I have these glass jars because I don't have it. This is like a mix of bare bottom and substrated bottom, where it's just a light coating of gravel, very light. Not even, I wouldn't even call it substrate. It's more decoration than anything else. But I have the plants in these jars, right? And in these jars, I have random pieces of gravel. I even have some of that planting substrate that's mixed in there. Basically, all this odds and ends, little stuff I had, I put it in a bucket, mixed it up, and I put some Osmocote, a couple of sprinkles of Osmocote into the mix, and that's why I have these plants at. I got 2 dwarf lilies on either side. I have this guy right here, which is, I think they call it a water sprite. I have a big old bunch of guppy grass that I'm going to have to cut back. I see that now. And this plant right here that goes across the bottom, that's actually a wild growing plant out here. And I've had it in my outdoor aquariums before. It grows good and well, it lives fine in outdoor aquariums. It doesn't really grow, but it doesn't die either. So it just stays like that. I'm loving that. And I have this purple plant thing. I don't know what it's called. It's purple on one side of the leaf and green on the other. I like it. So, if you watch my live stream, you got a nice little look at it. As far as filtration goes, I have a sponge filter here, and I have a hang on the back that I've modified a little bit as far as what goes in it, media wise. I'm gonna have to put another air stone, because when I first put the tank together, before I had all these decorations, got plenty of big rocks and driftwood, but before I put all that stuff in here, when it was just a bare tank, it was doing a nice little swirly of current. But now that I have all this stuff in there, the current kind of stopped. So it stops right about here. You see where that plant just stopped? So this is where I get the majority of my water pushing from. Over here, it kind of just sits there. So I think I'm going to put an air stone right here somewhere, just to chop up the water a little bit, give it more surface tension. Heat. I don't have a heater in here. Now I will be putting 200 watt heaters in this aquarium when the weather starts getting colder, and probably cover the top and the sides and the back with a flap that's able to cover the front with the plastic. So the idea is that the plastic, when I'm at work, when I'm not sitting on my porch, I'll just pull the plastic down in the front and it'll keep the heat in. Not that I've had tanks outdoor in the wintertime in Florida before with a heater. They did just fine with a DIY top, which I might still do. I'm going to do the DIY top definitely, but if I still have a problem holding heat, then I'll put a plastic tarp, and I'll still get the sunlight that I'm wanting, and yeah. So that's my 40 breeder community cichlid tank, and I'm gonna. The only other fish I'm gonna put in here is probably 2 other angels and a blue Aqua. I'm definitely gonna get a spotted pin to put at the bottom. It's gonna be pretty packed, and occasionally I will have to pull fish out. Like that severum is gonna get, in the long run, be too big for this tank. The geos, they're probably gonna get too big for the tank. But I figure doing my live streams through here, a little bit of change every couple of months will be good for you guys. So that's what I got going on. I appreciate you hanging out and listening to me babble under my state, my inebriated state. So, like always, take care of yourself, take care of your fish, Take care of yourself, take care of your family, and take care of your fish.